The Islanders dropped to 0-3 on the season with the loss to the Winnipeg Jets on Monday night. I read this stat here. The only other time the Owls have started a season with three straight losses was the 2006-2007 season. They made the playoffs that year, though. Can Matthew Schaefer lead this team to the 2006 vibes is the question. Well, our Owls beat writer for the Post, Ethan Sears, is on, and we're hoping he has the answer. Ethan, what's going on, man? First time we've had you on in this new season. How you doing? But let's go straight into your article, which you titled "Concerns Already Mounting." That's never a good thing 3 games into a season. So from what you've seen from the Owls so far, which areas are most troubling right now, and are they fixable?
Well, Brandon, first of all, thanks so much for having me, and glad to be here. Um, yeah, look, it's 3 games out of 82, so no matter what it is, it's fixable. It's a small sample size. They could go out and win the next 4 games, and then you're not talking about this. But there's a lot that hasn't been great so far. Ilya Sorokin hasn't really looked quite like himself. He gave up kind of a soft goal yesterday, and has given up 4 in all of their games, all 3 of their games so far. Defensively, they haven't looked great. Haven't they've struggled to kind of clear out the area around the crease. Their second pair, which is Alexander Romanov and Tony DeAngelo, has really struggled. They just haven't really been able to sustain any momentum. They've given up a lot of odd man rushes. Outside of really the first game in Pittsburgh, that opening night game where they looked good and kind of couldn't come up with a win, they just they've looked kind of just a step behind in general for most of those last 2 games so far, I would say.
All right, well, let's look at a positive because the Owls have their own version of Jackson Dart and Matthew Schaefer. Dished out an assist, had 4 shots on net, and recorded a block shot. That's 3 straight games where he's recorded a point. What kind of impact has this kid had on that group, on the blue line, and on the team, I guess, as a whole, coming in as the #1 overall pick?
I mean, right now, I think Matthew Schaefer is really the only reason that you're not hitting the panic button on the season. He has been absolutely terrific. He Every single game he's played so far, he's been fantastic. You can't say enough good things. He's played over 26 minutes 2 games in a row. The game against Washington, the home opener on Saturday, he was the best player in the game for either team. He was absolutely dominant. He scored his first goal. Um, he The way he skates and moves the puck is as good as I don't want to be over the top, but it has the ability to be as good as anyone in the league. So, I mean, it's been a huge impact already, and if he can keep doing this, it is going to raise the ceiling of the Islanders for a long time to come. Because obviously, him being a #1 pick, you knew that he had a lot of potential, but I'm not sure that anybody realized that he would be this good, this fast, having really not played a lot of hockey last year. He broke his collarbone in December. He played just 17 games at the junior level. There were some people in the run up to the draft who thought, hey, maybe he should go to college or he should go play another year in junior. It seems pretty clear he's ready for the NHL, and he's going to be here for a long time.
You mentioned he's the reason, or one of the reasons, why you don't hit the panic button on the team for this season. The Owls right now are currently one of 3 winless teams left in the entire NHL. There's San Jose and Buffalo, obviously. So you think this is an early showing of who the Owls are or who they're going to be this year? Or can you just chalk this up as a rough start to the 25-26 season?
I think for me, it's probably somewhere in between. I would be surprised if the Islanders were one of the 3 worst teams in the league. This roster has enough talent that shouldn't be the case. But that said, there are also some pretty serious holes here, and you've seen that play out. The right side of their defense, where they didn't get a direct, has struggled. Their kind of secondary scoring hasn't really been there. I wouldn't expect Ilya Sorokin to struggle the way he has for the season. But if that's the case, well, then I think you have a more serious problem.
All right. Ethan, appreciate you hopping on, man. Sure, we're going to be checking in with you throughout the course of the season.
You bet. Thanks, Brandon.